Someone texts you good morning every day. Remembers small things. Shows up when they say they will. And you barely register it. It doesn't move anything in you. Then someone else, someone who runs hot and cold, who criticizes more than they compliment, who makes you work for every scrap of approval, offers one small piece of praise. And suddenly, you're replaying it for days, building a whole emotional case around 4 words they said in passing, chasing them harder than you've chased anyone who was actually good to you. You've probably noticed this pattern and hated yourself a little for it. Wondered if you're broken or addicted to chaos or just built wrong somehow. By the end of this video, you will understand the biological trap that makes you seek approval from cold places. If you are ready to stop auditioning for your own worth, subscribe to Morphic Depth. We break down these psychological patterns every week. Let's open this up. Sigmund Freud, over a century ago, noticed something strange in his patients, an unconscious pull to recreate the exact conditions of an old wound over and over, with new people standing in for the original cast. He called it repetition compulsion. And while a lot of his other ideas haven't aged well, modern attachment research has actually validated this one specific observation, again and again, in clinical settings. Here's the mechanism. If your early experience of love came from someone withholding, a parent who doled out approval sparingly, who made affection conditional on performance, who was warm on their terms and cold on a schedule you could never predict, your nervous system didn't just experience that as sad. It experienced it as a puzzle, an unsolved one. And puzzles want solving. Some part of you, formed in that original relationship, is still trying to crack the code. Still trying to find the exact combination of behavior that finally, permanently earns the love that never came reliably the first time. So when you meet someone who withholds in a similar pattern, your nervous system doesn't read them as a red flag. It reads them as familiar, as an opportunity. This time, maybe, if you just get it right, you'll win the outcome you didn't get as a child. The person who's simply kind to you from the start doesn't trigger this mechanism at all. There's no puzzle there. No old wound being restaged. Which is exactly why they can feel, disturbingly, like nothing. Here's where this gets a lot more physical than people expect. Because there's a reason this isn't just sad, it's addictive. Picture a slot machine. If it paid out every single time you pulled the lever, you'd play a few times and stop. It would be boring. Predictable. But a machine that pays out unpredictably, sometimes nothing, sometimes a small win, occasionally a jackpot, that's the machine that gets people hooked. Your critical partner, your withholding parent, is running the exact same mechanism on your brain. If this breakdown is bringing clarity to your relationship history, hit subscribe to join our community of deep dive analytical viewers. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, and behavioral research has shown, consistently, that unpredictable rewards produce a stronger, more compulsive pursuit than reliable ones. Your brain's dopamine system isn't actually built to respond most strongly to reward itself. It's built to respond to uncertainty about reward, to the not knowing. Every time a critical person offers an unexpected crumb of approval, after a stretch of coldness, after you'd almost given up, your brain gets a dopamine spike disproportionate to the actual size of what you received. Not because the praise was that meaningful, because you didn't know it was coming. The unpredictability is the hook, not the affection itself. This is why consistent, safe love can feel oddly flat by comparison. It's not that safe love is actually less valuable. It's that your reward system was calibrated by an unreliable machine, and reliable love doesn't trigger the same chemical spike. Even though, on every measure that actually matters for a life, it's the one worth having. But the most dangerous cost isn't the wasted time, it's what it quietly does to your self-worth. You begin to believe that love is only valuable if you had to bleed to earn it. This is the drive for what psychologists sometimes call retroactive mastery, the unconscious hope that if you can finally win over this critical person, it will somehow reach backward in time and repair the original relationship that taught you love was conditional. It won't. It can't. The person in front of you is not the person who hurt you originally, no matter how much they rhyme with them. Winning them over fixes nothing in the past. It just extends the audition into the present, indefinitely. So here's how you actually start starving this pattern instead of feeding it. First, name the pull the moment it happens. When you catch yourself replaying a critical person's rare compliment, or feeling strangely unmoved by someone who's consistently kind, say it plainly to yourself. This is the old puzzle, not new information about who deserves my attention. Naming it breaks the automatic nature of the chase. Second, deliberately practice sitting with safe affection instead of dismissing it. When boredom or flatness shows up around someone who's simply good to you, don't take that feeling as a verdict on them. Take it as data about your own calibration. Consistent love isn't boring. It just doesn't spike the same chemical response an unpredictable one does. And that response was never a reliable measure of value in the first place. Third, consciously separate the desire to be chosen from the desire to win. If you notice you're more invested in changing someone's mind about you than in whether they are actually good for you, that's the audition talking, not genuine attachment. Ask yourself, would I want this person's approval if I'd met them for the first time today, with no history, no puzzle to solve? Often the honest answer is no. You are not addicted to chaos. You're running a very old search algorithm, still looking for the specific password that unlocks a love that was never conditional on a password to begin with. That door doesn't open because you found the right combination. It opens because it was never supposed to be locked at all. Stepping off the treadmill of seeking approval from critics takes time. We break down these relationship traps every week. Subscribe to Morphic Depth to ensure you don't miss the next stage of the journey. You don't owe anyone a performance to be worthy of love that was always supposed to be free.